throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough. 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 If we care enough.
Hey, yo, Pop, yo, check out that situation right there, yo.
Yeah, what's the motions, man?
Yo, honey, right there, yo.
Yo, the fine Amazon, man.
Yeah, she got it going on and on, like, you know what I'm saying? But she be trying to act like all of that, though, yo.
So show us boss, man, what's up?
Yo, big kid style.
No question, big kids in full effect,
Yo,
man.
I'ma kick the Willie Bow and check it, yo.
No question.
Hey, yo, what's the 411, hun?
What's the 411?
I got it going on,
Hey, yo, I
hun.
got it going on, hun.
What's the 411, hun?
What's the 411, hun?
I got it going on.
Hey, yo, I got it going on.
Will I be pooba on this shit? And from last year, Jabot's hanging baggy, Tommy Hilfiger top gear. Take no shorts, I'm doing lovely in all sports. Even swing the pole at the hole on my golf course. Some say I'm fancy, cause I'm horny and nasty. If I see some rugged joints, then I won't let it pass me. I take no shorts, let suckers step up to see. I'll flip the script and get harder than Jeopardy. I shot the sheriff and the motherfucking deputy. Test me. Check it. I'm not Keith Sweat, but bet that I can make it last. Skins turn their head so fast they end up catching whiplash. If Hun's a monster, I'm Kyle Lewis on the meter dash. It's Grand Pooba, baby, and I'm getting crazy cash. What's the 411? Let me know, hun. What's the 411?
Shout out to Mary J. Blige and Grand Pooba.
Hey, yo, I got
Look.
it going on.
That just feels like the era that it came from. Early 90s. What's that? 92, 93? Somewhere around there? Somewhere. Yeah. You know, shout out to them. Mary's a queen. I bet a lot of people didn't expect her to have the longevity that she's had. Right? Big balling. Acting. Academy Award nominated. Nobody expected Mary J. Blige would be Academy Award nominated. Sometimes you just got to think. You never know.
You know, being the queen of hip hop and R&B and soul definitely helps a lot, because outside of just the work that she does just for herself, she was the in a lot of ways, I guess you could say she was the sound of hip hop.
She was.
As far as like the R&B hip hop collab, you know, she was always the go-to. You know, it was kind of like, I remember Game, speaking of Game, he was talking about, I got a song with Mary Blige, you know, like it's like a
almost like a rite of passage.
A rite of passage. It's a goal that people want to achieve. If I got a song with Mary J. Blige, like I done made it.
Right, because what, Case had one. Did Nas and Mary have a song together? We know Meth, obviously. Ja Rule, Rainy Days. She worked with Dr. Dre. I mean, you know.
Jay-Z, of course.
Oh, yeah, right. I mean, everything. And then you think about, she was one of the first R&B artists, maybe the first. She had a whole remix album, with a hip-hop remix album. Like that remix right there with Grand Pooba, I believe that was on one of the songs that were on the What's the 411, the remixes. Because, you know, Redacted Man's Name invented the remix and the label. I'm just kidding, guys.
Shout out to Diddy. Not like that.
You know. Listen, we're going to see how all of this plays out soon enough.
Speaking of Diddy.
Yes.
You don't know what happened with Diddy?
Which part? Which one are we talking about?
I guess it's official that whatever that alcohol company.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Oh, you guys did? Okay.
We talked about it. He is officially split from De Leon and Ciroc. He settled the case. I mentioned that I thought that it probably, considering he has two civil suits, excuse me. I mean, they are lawsuits, but that he is dealing with that are, you know, pretty high profile. And there's a morals clause that was attached to the De Leon and Ciroc deal and so forth. We know this alcohol maker, also owns Johnny Walker Red and a couple of other ones. That, there's a lot of things. They have been having problems. Diddy accused them for racism. And so it's not a settlement. It was dismissed with prejudice, which means that he can't refile at a later date. And I'm sure that they gave him a couple of coins to sever the ties, but he's gearing up for much, much bigger things. Because actually, a day after that was announced, there was some filings that were announced in one of the New York lawsuits, the one that is alleged to have happened in incident in 2003, where they indicate that the young lady that was involved may be public facing, and both sides agree that at least for now, they would like to keep her identity under an alias or, the Jane Doe pseudonym, because it could be influential in some ways if her information was released.
So to clarify, the name of the company is actually what, Diageo or something like that?
Yeah.
Diageo. And under them is Ciroc and De Leon.
Right.
Got it.
And a couple of other brands or whatever. And so what Diddy was alleging basically was that they were not giving him the marketing dollars and support for Ciroc and De Leon like they were with, for example, George Clooney's Casamigos alcohol brand. And so he felt it was because it was marketed towards urban and that they didn't respect that. And when it came time, the deal points of the contract were up, because obviously Ciroc and Diddy have been synonymous with one another for, what was that, mid-2000s when that seemed to come into play? Everybody had some vodkas. 50 had effing vodka. Jay-Z, I believe, did he have a vodka? Or did he just have Ace of Spades?
Who, Jay-Z?
Yeah, did he have a vodka?
Nah, I think he just had the Ace of Spades. But when you say mid-2000s, this has to be, you talking about like 2010, 2011.
When did Ciroc drop with Diddy? Let's see.
I don't remember.
Ciroc and Diddy partnership.
So I think early 2000s, Cass was still sipping on Hypnotic.
No, I think the mid 2007. So that could be considered, late. It depends on how you look at it, but yeah. So a significant amount of time.
Absolutely.
There definitely was a time period, to your point, like around the 2010, 2011. What I always think about, and I don't know why, is if you're from LA, when we kicked off the day party scene for y'all with Toxic in Hollywood, a lot of Ciroc was in the building and floating around there. You saw it at a lot of clubs. You heard like Diddy did what he is known to do. He marketed and hyped it up, and it worked, and the culture bought into it. So
Ciroc was the Cristal, right, of the time being.
It was.
It was the choice. It was the drink of choice.
Yeah. So, but we'll see what happens after all of those things shake out. But for right now, at least with that ruling, both sides agree that the identity should remain sealed, at least for now, and we'll see what happens later.
Chicken's coming home to roost.
Listen, a lot is happening. When we come forward, we're going to get into Kanye West. He has an apology video coming. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Of course, we're going to get into what's going on with Kevin Hart, plus more trending topics and headlines. You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
RSVP with Jill Munroe is your go-to show for staying in the know. More engaging conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Charles Barkley in a pickup game.
We'll take Barkley.
Ha! First pick. Sorry, kids.
Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision?
Okay, here's the plan. Pass me the ball every time.
This is banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
August 24th, 2023, Joan created for eBay. Ad ID EBPA02650000. Spot title, Are We There Yet? 30 seconds, radio full mix.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Linking social justice and climate justice all year long. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
The thing no one tells you about periods is that your flow changes every day, and so should your tampon size. Tampax has 5 absorbencies to match your changing flow. If it hurts to remove, go down a size. If it leaks, go up a size. Only Tampax has a leak guard braid to help give you up to 100% leak and odor-free protection. All-day comfort and protection for under $5 a month. Based on average U.S. consumer usage at manufacturer suggested price. However, pricing is at the sole discretion of the retailer. Excludes 8-count pack.
Girl, I have a secret. When I get stressed out, I get sweaty. That's why I use Secret Clinical Antiperspirant. It's like my own secret weapon. For 72 hours, I get Secret's strongest protection against sweat caused by stress, heat, and activity, because you know how crazy life can get. Plus, it's made with advanced odor fighters that don't just cover up smelliness. They help prevent it from happening in the first place. Believe me, if I weren't wearing Secret, I'd be a hot, smelly mess. Thankfully, Secret works.
Hey, keeping you informed, entertained, and always ahead of the curve. This is RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Really quick, I want to go back to the Country Wayne topic just for one thing. Jess has a son, and as mentioned, Country Wayne has a few children. And he mentioned that one of his children's mothers brought up that their children were having to hear about that in school. So, one, of course, that has always been an issue for famous people. There have always been tabloids and quote-unquote gossip shows and what have you. But I do think that being that it is currently the social media era, you really, really, really should think a little bit about kids, especially if they're school age, 10, around that age. You don't know, even if you keep your child off the internet and they're not checking the shade room, their classmates might be. And I mean, it's hurtful. Kids are mean. Kids are cruel. And of course, you can't control everything, but I do think that it was a fair point that he brought up about his children having to go to school and hear that, because I'm sure Jess's son has to hear a little bit of that as well. And though it is just, par for the course to some degree, still, it's nice to be nice and to think about the babies. All right, listen, really quickly, we want to send lots of prayers, love, and support to Snoop Dogg's baby girl, Corey. She revealed that she suffered a stroke recently. She's 24 years old, and she posted a couple of photos of her in the hospital. And, it's heartbreaking. You never want to hear of someone going through something like that, something that is so serious. But of course, at 24, it seems so young to be dealing with something of that nature. What I will say that I saw online recently where, well, actually, it's when she was talking to people, Corey had said a few months ago, I stopped taking all of my medication. Let me back up. Let me be clear. Corey has lupus. She was diagnosed with lupus when she was 6 years old. So she has been taking medication for that the majority of her life. So she recently revealed that she stopped taking her medication a few months ago because she wanted to try a more holistic and natural approach. She shared that she was doing everything natural, herbs, sea moss, teas, etc. She said she started working out, drinking lots of water, and she said that she believed that her body was like, okay, this is the new program, and she's getting used to it. She said that she made that transition because, as I mentioned, she was diagnosed with lupus at 6 years old. So she wanted to, give herself a break. She said that she felt like she was going insane taking all of that medication. She just wanted a pill. She said she was 24, taking 10 to 12 pills every single day. So she just went cold turkey. I think that, it's the gift and the curse of information, because there are many natural remedies that can help us and help us in a variety of ways. And we know that food is medicine, and what we eat greatly impacts our health. Having said that, medicine isn't always the enemy. There is a purpose to it, and you have to find the right balance. I understand nobody wants to have to take 10 to 12 pills a day, especially at her age, especially as something that she had been doing for most of her life. But you got to wean yourself off of that. And absolutely, if you're going to take that kind of action and make a change that complete, you definitely should consult your doctor. And I know we talk about things like the medical system, the insurance system is set up to, some people feel, a lot of people feel, most people feel, to take from you and not really stand up and provide benefit or the complete benefit that it could in times of duress or times when you need it. But at the same time, just be smart, be careful, because that is such a hard thing to have to hear that is happening. And I know that there are varied conspiracy theories floating around out there. I have no further information on that, and I say the best thing that you can do under these circumstances is send a lot of love and support to her and her family, because, I'm sure that is a difficult thing for them to undertake as well. Okay, listen, your guy Kanye, still wilding out. Why? Because Kanye is Kanye, of course. So this while out is actually, rather tame for the thing that what we have been accustomed to hearing from him over the past few months and years. So Kanye said that he is planning to drop a 40-minute apology video for his anti-Semitic comments, and he's going to do it ahead of the release of his new album, right? This is according to TMZ. So he has prepared a nearly hour-long video, 40 minutes, as I said, and in the video, he is appealing to the Jewish community in reference to, all of the statements that he made. I guess it's just been maybe a little over a year ago. I think a lot of it started with his interview on Drink Champs with Noor. He had a lot to say there. That's when he said that he was planning to go. No, he said on Twitter he was planning to go DEFCON 3. Just a lot of interesting commentary at the time, and people were looking at him sideways, and we know he lost a lot of business behind that and a lot of deals. We talked about on this show a few months ago that the head of Adidas mentioned that he believed that Kanye was really, really sorry and apologetic for those statements. And at the time I said, could this be a setup to potentially open the door for Kanye and Adidas to come back together and collaborate again? And I definitely think that, it's something that we could see down the line. I wouldn't close the door on it. Yeezys were one of the most popular products with Adidas. And this is a company that is traditionally, grounded their flag in, NBA and, mostly NBA. So we'll have to see what the developments are. Are you here for Kanye making a 40-minute video? Some have asked because, again, social media is always on it and always has questions. And, I'm a curious person, so I get it. They want to know, where was the 40-minute apology video when he said that slavery was a choice? They want to know why that also didn't receive the same amount of attention or affection. And of course, as you can guess, they are alluding to their own theories as to why that didn't happen. I'm unsure. 40 minutes is a lot of time. And when you're dealing with someone like Kanye, you never know what that 40 minutes can spiral into. However, it sounds like it's pre-recorded, so we will have to see what happens. He expressed initially, this is not the first time that he has started apologizing to the Jewish community. He posted on Instagram, I think it was last month, maybe a little before, and it was written in Hebrew, and he said, "I sincerely apologize to the Jewish community for any unintended outbursts caused by my words or actions. It was not my intention to hurt or demean, and I deeply regret any pain I may have caused." So we'll have to see where that sort of shakes down as far as Ye and what comes from it. Okay. Speaking of disparaging remarks, we talk a lot about hip hop on this show. We've also talked about how I don't necessarily mind that people are still, doing diss raps and that there's sometimes beefs. I like competitiveness to a degree. There is a limit. Of course, don't like it to turn violent or anything of that nature. But I think that there is some healthiness in a competitive relationship around hip hop. Well, recently, an artist named Don't Call Me Lexi and Lil Yachty came together on a song, and they throw a shot at Megan Thee Stallion. The song is called Better Watch Where You Step, right? And in it, they say, oh, actually, that's not the name of the song. The line says, "Better watch where you step, get treated like Megan Thee Stallion." And of course, some people are upset because they feel that she is being picked on, she is being targeted, that it is because she is a black woman that they are so comfortable with the level of disrespect. And I do feel that's part of it, but is it also the entitlement that, a punchline can be made out of any person or any situation that has sort of permeated hip hop all along? I am not familiar with Don't Call Me Lexi as far as a rapper. I do know who Lil Yachty is, and I don't know what type of relationship they had prior to everything that went down in 2020 with Megan and Tory Lanez, but I just wonder why so many seem to feel so comfortable with bringing that situation back up and using that as a target in their things. Even, here's the thing, even if it's not personal, let's just say it's a hot line or whatever, why that particular situation? Is it just another clout chase thing? Just because they know that it'll get them attention and eyes on them? And are we getting a little burnt out on the obvious clout chase? I kind of think so, but then every now and again, and by every now and again, I mean literally every week, probably every other day, a story comes up and it's like, nope, people are not tired at all of the clout chasing antics. So we'll have to see what develops with that. If you come across the song and you like it, let me know. Shout it out. Okay, so let's talk about this Kevin Hart commentary on Cat Williams. First, let me give you the upside. We know that when the interview initially came out, when Kevin finally did respond, he used it as an opportunity to promote his new heist comedy, Lift, which is on Netflix. Well, what I can share with you is that the film is the #1 global movie on Netflix right now. It has 32.8 million views, and 58.5 million hours viewed. It wasn't critically acclaimed. A lot of the critics, I haven't checked it out yet. I will be honest in that, so I cannot give you my critique at the moment. But a lot of critics basically kind of downplayed it, said that it was lacking in originality and that it had a convoluted plot. It's directed by F. Gary Gray. You know, F. Gary Gray directed Friday, Straight Outta Compton. I believe he did The Italian Job as well. Or is The Italian Job The Italian Job was one of the heist movies that sort of influenced this concept and why Kevin wanted to do this movie. So shout out to him for once again showing that he is the one bringing in the big bucks, right? So now we can get into his follow-up commentary about being an industry plant and so forth. So basically what he says about all of this is, you know, exactly what you would expect him to say to something like this. You know, if you recall, Cat Williams said that in 15 years in Hollywood, no one has ever had a memory of a sold-out Kevin Hart show. There being a line for him, ever getting a standing ovation in a comedy club, and he said that because of that, he believes that Kevin was a plant, that he came out to the West Coast and was holding it down and immediately got a TV show and a lead in a movie, even though the movie didn't do well and is now a cult classic. When we come forward, we'll get into Kevin's response to that. And also, he had some comments about Dave Chappelle and the host of the Golden Globes this year and the reaction that got. So we'll get into all of that on the other side. You're locked in to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
No wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Gas me up, get me drunk, and hit the skins and scram. The same old shit pulled last week on Pam. I'm not having that. No, I'm not having that. You gotta do a lot more, and that's just how it be. I'm Mary Biden, you just ain't running up in me. I need a man who's looking out with some security. So come correct with some respect, and then we will see. So if you're with it, then drop the 7 digits, and I might just give you a call. If you ain't with it, then don't waste your time at all. So what's the 411, huh?
Trending topics and the hottest happenings. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Ohio police are looking into the source of some hateful materials that were recently mailed to a Franklinton nonprofit. Franklinton Farms Executive Director Gabrielle Fields says she is the first Black individual to head up the organization, and it is not a coincidence that the racist mailing came shortly after she took over. An envelope that was sent to the urban farm included printouts of Columbus area officials and civil rights activists, along with some hateful statements and terms. Fields says she believes the mailing was directed at her, noting that other nonprofits she has spoken with have not received anything suspicious. Monson, Massachusetts' first cannabis dispensary has opened. Dazed Cannabis is Black and veteran-owned. In addition to the product, Dazed offers celebrity events and meet and greets. The owners say long-term plans are to open more dispensaries along the eastern seaboard. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Drought, war, and rising food prices have doubled the number of families facing malnutrition. You can help. $50 provides a food kit to feed a family for a month. Just text the word radio to 97646.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do Black history every single day. In fact, as the only Black talk radio station west of the Mississippi, we are Black history. Our annual Black History Month luncheon is fast approaching, and we want to be sure to give you ample time to get your company, organization, church, or group to join us at this year's celebration on the last day of the month, Thursday, February 29th at noon. Last year, we honored iconic local Black media personalities, including Pat Harvey, Jim Hill, Mark Brown, Beverly White, Sandy Banks, and Pat Prescott, and raised $20,000 in scholarships. This year, we're honoring Black Hollywood creatives who have used their artistic genius as climate justice champions. At this year's luncheon, we will be showcasing and sharing their inspiring work on our big screen. Plus, a scrumptious meal, live music, great company, and lots of fun with your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts. So contact us today at info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. That's info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. We hope to see you Thursday, February 29th as we close out Black History Month. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Jackson Hewitt has a plan to get your tax refund fast. With a buck here, buck there. Here a buck, there a buck, everywhere a buck.
You don't have to wait weeks for your tax refund. Get money sooner with a no-fee refund advance loan at Jackson Hewitt.
On this loan, there's a money today guarantee. E-I-E-I-Do.
Don't settle for chicken feed. Get fast bucks at Jackson Hewitt today. No-fee refund advance loans by Republic Bank offered to eligible clients. Money today guarantee if approved for a loan on a prepaid card. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be a sign that your digestive system isn't working at its best? Taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil fiber powders help promote your daily digestive health using a plant-based fiber called psyllium. The gelling action of this special fiber traps and removes waste, so you can feel lighter and more energetic. Metamucil, promoting digestive health for a better you. Learn more at metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
If you say you care about the community, you have to also care about the climate. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
Did you know there's dust floating around your home?
Really?
Yeah. Dust starts on hard surfaces like shelves and ceiling fans. And when you walk by, dust starts to move, compromising the quality of the air you and your family breathe.
So, what do I do?
Get Swiffer Heavy Duty Duster. Swiffer Heavy Duty Duster is the fast and easy way to trap and lock dust.
Before it gets into the air.
Exactly. So you can just... Swiffer Heavy Duty Duster, proud partner of the American Lung Association.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment. LA's 99 neighborhood councils form the grassroots level of the Los Angeles city government. The system was created to connect LA's diverse communities to City Hall. While neighborhood council board members are volunteers, they are also public officials elected to office by the members of their community. Neighborhood councils advocate on issues like homelessness, housing, land use, emergency preparedness, public safety, parks, transportation, and sustainability. They also provide local expertise on the delivery of city services to their various communities. Neighborhood councils are open to participation by anyone who is a part of the fabric of daily life in said community. This includes those who live, work, or own property or a business. If you are interested in stepping up to join your local neighborhood council, visit www.empowerla.org. That's empowerla.org. It's time to think globally, but act locally. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. Curating the most compelling stories and delivering them straight to your ears. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
carry? And would you still love me, baby, if I was married? Or would I make the shot even if I was hurried? And will I still be remembered even after I'm buried? They got me waking up in the morning, getting loaded. Got me worrying so hard, sometimes I'm feeling like my brain is bloated. But I'ma break it down, fix it and re-roll it, and show you haters out here that I control it. I'm in this for something so different that you couldn't imagine. The style, the flyness, the beautiful, the highness, the pitiful lows that keeps a major player like me up on his toes. No, not quite. I want my props on the merit of the hands that I use to mold myself to the spirit of a man. I'm just a tiny grain of sand under my God, the one who keeps me humble, keeps me up and working hard. Him and Lord, it's alright to be in love with yourself. But when you're
welcome back into RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. You know, we had to let that vibe for a little bit. One of the most underrated producers in hip hop, rapper extraordinaire, DJ Quick. Happy birthday. You know, yesterday was Pimp Play Sugar Free's birthday. So they are two Capricorns in the mix together, back to back. Ooh, Andy, I shocked you. You didn't know didn't know that?
No, I knew Sugar Free's birthday was yesterday. But just mentioning it right now, I guess it just makes sense considering their relationship and how well they've done music together. I mean, if you're into the stars and horoscopes, I mean, I guess it's just...
They have a lot of alignment because they share the same traits. I mean, I enjoy... Let me tell you what. I will go... I've been to some interesting places to see DJ Quick perform through the years.
Same here.
I am a Quick fan.
Ditto.
Listen... Quick should put out an all Quick's interludes album.
Absolutely, I agree with you.
I think that would be banging. I also feel like for whatever reason, Quick is a little slept on. Like
100%.
He's always kind of, when we have conversations, I won't even just talk about the broader hip hop thing. Even when we have West Coast, LA-based conversations,
I'm with you.
Quick's name is not brought up a lot.
I guess because they don't. Woo! Let me go ahead and I stand to be corrected.
Okay.
But I don't think people respect his lyricism.
I mean,
or they don't view him as like a rapper, even though he raps,
but see, this is what I understand that, and I understand depending upon what era you came up with, what you focus on, your feelings about lyrics and how seriously you take them. It's a sliding scale for some, but his production, what he's done for others,
on fleek.
The stuff that the musicality of the quality that you hear throughout some Quick albums. Listen, I'm a fan. I'm always going to be a Quick fan.
Me and my boy, we used to always joke for, all my LA natives out here. KCal9, back when the Lakers would play, right? It was always the road games on KCal9. Shout out Chick Hearn. Shout out Stu Lance. After the game would be
Jello's jiggling.
After the game would be over, right? They would kind of do like their send-offs or whatnot, show like the last couple of highlights, and they would always have this music in the background. And me and my boy used to always say, I swear to God, I don't know if it was DJ Quick behind the production or whatnot, but that music just always, it was just dope music behind, the Laker highlights or whatnot. And I always just attributed that to DJ Quick. He had that KCal9 Lakers after game sound.
It's like, summertime Sunday Playboy Jazz Festival vibes. Don't sleep on Quick. And really, it's a question. And I'll let you do your own research. But as far as West Coast hip hop producers, right? We got Dre as a sound. We got Mustard as a sound. You got to include some Quick in there somewhere. I'm sure there's other producers that I'm leaving out. But just, Quick and Dirty, Quick, you got to be up there. So,
real quick.
Yes.
If you've never been to the West Coast, you don't know what West Coast hip hop sounds like. There's 3 producers: Dr. Dre, DJ Quick, DJ Battlecat. Well, now DJ Mustard.
I'll ride with that. So those 4 would be the Mount Westmore of production.
You know what? Let me not disrespect to shout out to the Bay. I believe Tracks a Million, Jupiter, E40 Sun.
Okay.
And those are the only Bay producers that I'm familiar with. But
You know, back in the day, there were some ones back in the day. What's the guy that used to be?
Rick Rock. Can't forget about him.
Okay.
He's one who produced Change the Game.
Change the Game.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
And he produced a lot of Federation records. I don't know if you're familiar with Federation. They're the original hyphy song.
Yes. I remember that. Shout out to them. Keith Smith is shouting out Bobcat in the chat. I mean, listen, Bobcat is another one. You don't know Bobcat was LL Cool J's DJ or something like that. But yeah, or he worked with them. I can't remember what the story is. I'm gonna look it up, but he is connected in that manner, early, late 80s, early 90s hip hop producer. So we got JW from South Central on the line. Welcome in, JW. How are you this evening?
Hey, how you doing? Let me turn the radio down so you can hear me loud and clear and you won't complain. Okay, yeah, Jill. First of all, I heard you giggle. But you know what? You and Angie are making some valid points, and I had to call in because I catch you guys on a redundant basis when I'm passing by radio. But here's my point. I recall you making reference to the hip-hop, the 50th anniversary, and I know you did acknowledge some West Coast rappers and who didn't get their flowers and who did, and all that behind that. And we won't go into detail. But one thing that annoyed me that didn't come up when you mentioned the Bay Area was MC Hammer, especially when you was making a point about made a profound difference with the hip-hop era. And I was just waiting for you because I really clued into your.
I know.
Your
now, JW, you know I love you, but I had a whole hour on MC Hammer and how people overlook him and disregard his impact on hip-hop, and how actually the blueprint that he laid as far as cartoon, cereal, Pepsi commercials, that album,
right? The Pepsi commercial, right?
He was called a sellout at the time.
I missed that.
See, you got to not just pass by the radio and lock in. JW, I appreciate you because you stay down with this, but sometimes you got to sit. I'm not letting you go. I'm not letting you go.
DJ Quit. Let me come in after the commercial or something like
that.
No,
I'm not letting you go.
I wanted to mention DJ Quit. Okay, great, fantastic. Okay. Yeah, DJ Quit is another one that I wanted you to mention because of that 50th anniversary that didn't get no recognition as well as MC Hammer.
Fair.
You know, because he's more of a player, hustler type rapper, even though, like you just stated a few moments ago to motivate me to call in, he came up through the era, the rap sensation, but I believe he's connected with the Blood Game, blah, 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 blah. I won't go into that. But anyway, the point is this. He's a hustler player, and he's smooth like that, and he reminds me of E40 from the Bay Area, because all them brothers up there in the Bay Area, and I got relatives here, and I'm born and raised in L.A. and lived in Chicago for 8 years. The point is, up there in the Bay Area, they were hustlers and players. I mean, on a real, like Detroit, back east type thing, New York, real talk. And that's in the subject matter.
Well, JW, I always appreciate you calling in. Listen, when we come forward, we're going to circle back to this topic, and I'm going to finally share with you what Kevin Hart had to say about the industry plant allegations and why he thinks you guys are tripping on Dave Chappelle at this point. Yep, he said that. All of that and more on the other side. You're locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Infusing a sense of fun and entertainment in every episode. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
More when we come forward. Jim Gaffigan here with some more Straight Talk. Now you can get a Walmart Plus membership, plus not pay for it, because it's included with Straight Talk wireless plans. You get free delivery with Walmart Plus a Paramount Plus subscription included. Plus, you pay less for gas. That's a lot of pluses.
Only Straight Talk gives you unlimited 5G data and Walmart Plus included on select plans for free.
Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart.
Requires service on Gold or Platinum Unlimited. One offer per eligible account. Paramount Plus Essential Plan only. Separate registration required. Additional terms apply.
Watch out! You got me!
galaxy is safe once again.
In the pretend universe, kids play with pretend guns. In the real world, it's up to us to make sure they don't get their hands on a real gun. If you have a gun in the house, keep it locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
Helping to broaden your political and moral imagination with our 2024 Climate Justice Campaign. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
We're for Washington. We love Febrez's new scent. Refresh and energize.
So much we made a song about it.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Stay Housed LA has the resources you need to know your rights and the legal support to back them up. The COVID-19 pandemic has cost people their jobs and livelihoods. This has left an estimated 1/3 of households not being able to make rent and facing losing their homes. This is a fear no one in our community should have to face. You have rights, though, and Stay Housed LA is here to help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between the County of Los Angeles, the City of Los Angeles, and local community and legal service providers. Together, they provide tenants with the information and support needed to exercise their rights so they can remain safely in their homes. Find out more about your rights by participating in a virtual tenant workshop. Get the legal assistance you need. Find additional resources in Los Angeles County and the City of Los Angeles. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA County for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. That's stayhousedla.org. Or call their hotline at 213-694-0040. We've got your black with a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Now back to more captivating conversation on RSVP with Jill Munroe.
You were locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. So really quick, Keith Smith brought up Bobcat as a West Coast producer. And, you know, he is from an era that is maybe not a lot are familiar with. Like I said, he was LL Cool J's DJ. He produced I'm Bad. He also had songs on the Mama Said Knock You Out album, which obviously was a big one for LL. He produced songs on All Eyes on Me for Pac. He also produced, he came out of, as I said, West Coast. So he came out of, there was a party crew out in LA called Uncle Jam's Army. They used to spin on Saturday night. Well, the Mix Masters used to spin on Saturday night on K-Day. But, you know, they all kind of linked up. And I guess the production crew was called the LA Posse. But yeah, his first breakout hit as far as a producer was on LL Cool J's Bigger and Deffer album. So there you go. He also produced on Ice Cube's Predator album. So, you know, little deeper cut, deep cut, album cut kind of guy, but definitely, you know, someone that his stuff should be mentioned because he was obviously a pivotal part of hip hop at that time. I mean, that LL album and what LL did set up a lot of stuff.
What would you say his sound was like? If he had a sound.
So, because, like, for a lot of these things, the LL Cool J stuff, and there's stories about if Bobcat borrowed some of that from a Young Jinx, and I think there's someone else that was around, things of that nature. I'm not sure, you know, too young to really know that. I think it sounded like 89. I mean, if that makes sense. And that's not a diss. That's not a thing. But I very much think that, especially in that era, like, you know, hip hop, after Run DMC and Def Jam being the biggest, as we were kind of transitioning and, starting to see more different types of hip hop, because that's not too long after that Tribe and De La and, the Jungle Brothers came out. So I think that there was definitely a sound that very much sounded like 89 across the board. I don't know if there was as much of a difference between West Coast and East Coast hip hop. And if there, as sonically, right, that people pointed out, until really, we started seeing the rise of Dre and that sort of, separating it out really with the Chronic album. So, I don't know. We shall see. But I'm glad. Thank you, Keith, for throwing Bobcat's name in the ring, because I certainly wouldn't have remembered that or even thought to bring, put him in the mix. Okay, so Kevin Hart, basically he said he's too big to pay attention to all of that, and that being called a plant comes with the territory when you're successful. And the people that aren't successful are naturally going to talk about the people that are successful, and he's not giving that any energy. So,
but he's responding though.
I mean, so let me ask you, what are your thoughts on this? If you were asked a question in an interview, right? Not like the other guys or the people that have, turned their camera around and made a video for social media or whatever. If you were asked and you respond, should they say no comment? Should they say next question? How do you handle that? Or how do you think they should, per se?
I mean, it depends. It depends, but it just seems like of all the people responding to Cat Williams, Kevin Hart, I mean, I don't know how many opportunities that he's had where he's at a platform to be able to speak on Cat Williams or what Cat Williams had to say, but I'm just not feeling his responses. It's just coming off like his nose is in the air, like he's coming off just too cocky for me.
But I feel like that's been Kevin's MO for a while now. No shade, no tea. Like, I just, very much, I checked out some of the special with he and Chris Rock. I think it's on Netflix, just kind of about their comedy journey. And there are moments just when you watch Kevin Hart, I feel, in interviews or whatever. And part of it is, his comedy thing, but you can tell he's in his moment, right? Like, he's like, I'm him. Right. What are you saying?
Exactly.
And so it doesn't surprise me that he would just, he said it's beneath him.
If it's beneath him, he shouldn't have responded. That's my thing. If it's beneath you, you giving energy to it.
He said extremely beneath him.
Extremely beneath
because of the position that he is currently in.
Yeah, Cat Williams definitely bothered him. If it's extremely beneath you, why are you giving? You adding more fuel to the fire?
I guess he knew he was going to continue to be asked, and he had to say something.
And he could easily, like you said, just be like, no comment.
Like,
let's talk about something else. Or at least, don't they have conversations before they even conduct the interviews? Be like, yo, I know y'all probably got questions about Cat Williams. I don't want to talk about it.
Well, this interview, I should say, if I haven't already mentioned, is with Variety, which is a trade magazine. So, I mean, depending upon sometimes who talent is interviewing with, they either can and will set certain parameters, and others, it's not really on the table if they want that type of coverage. I'm not sure, what this one fell under, but I'm sure he felt safe to speak his truth and know that there wasn't going to be too much questioning or probing as far as the details of it, He did speak about Dave Chappelle, and, both right now are on Netflix. They're pretty big as far as comedians with specials that Netflix has reoccurring business with. And we know that, I guess it was the end of December, Dave dropped another Netflix special called The Dreamer. And of course, there was controversy surrounding it. So Kevin Hart said in response to the critiques about Chappelle, "We're just in a time now where the microscope is significantly pointed in the direction of the comic and what the comic is saying. But you have the option of just not watching someone you don't find funny or entertaining. That's something extremely simple that people are forgetting." And he's right. But is that, do people accept that anymore? No. I think people feel like I'm triggered, I'm uncomfortable, so everybody should be outraged and nobody should watch that. I don't know. I feel like, I guess it's kind of hard to draw the line because there are some things, some jokes that if came out, we as a community would be trying to beat people down. But I am one more so like I want to hear what you have to say so I know how you feel, so I know when to stick and move. I'm open to hearing jokes about all things, though. I laugh at inappropriate stuff. Not, inappropriate stuff, but inappropriate stuff. Andy?
I mean, don't most jokes come from inappropriateness, if that's even a word?
Yeah, I mean, they do. I know that times are changing and we are more sensitive to things, but I also think that part of having equality is the ability to joke with everybody across the board. I should not joke with you because, and I don't mean in being mean-spirited or ignoring if it really hurts someone, but you shouldn't have to exclude someone from joking if you joke with everybody, because being treated equal means that anybody can get it.
Absolutely.
That's just my thoughts. Listen, when we come forward, we're going to get into, there's been a lot of cancellations of Black-led TV series as of late on streaming. Today, another series was announced as canceled, Rap-ish, Issa Rae produced show that was featured on Max. Used to be HBO Max. So we're going to get into that, some of the cancellations. And there was a lot of discourse around, are our Black shows being targeted based off of the racial reckoning and sort of a revenge for that? And then there's the question about the audience, which we have quite a bit, but we'll get into that on the other side. Of course, more trending topics and headlines. You're locked in to RS Repeat with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
I apologize for hurting your feelings when we back in the days. We was young, thinking everything was school. Ditching school, huffing beaties and drinking brew. Afraid of the bombism, but we tried it. Ain't no sense in denying it. I loved to look blinded, take a look back, damn near shed a tear. Reminiscing on the past time, year after year, but we grew up. Things would change, you in the penitentiary, and I be dwelling in the rap game. Started off at the same path, but